American child to have access to pristine outdoor spaces, when young Americans experience the breathtaking beauty of the Grand Canyon, when their eyes widen in amazement as Old Faithful bursts into the sky, when they gaze upon Yosemite's towering sequoias. The FDA will be notifying physicians that the use of let's see how we say that. Acetaminophen. Is that okay? Which is basically commonly known as Tylenol during pregnancy, can be associated with a very increased risk of autism. So taking Tylenol is not good. I'll say it. It's not good. Our country, by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. So there's a question that probably some of you are thinking of if you're, and I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way.
What do you mean by that?
And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting.
Right, folks who could.
Right, and then I see the disinfectant, where it knocks it out in 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets in the lungs and it does a tremendous number of lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds interesting too. I'm really rich. I'll show you that in a second. I have a total net worth, and now with the increase, it'll be well over $10 billion. But here, a total net worth of $8 billion. Net worth, not assets, not liability, a net worth. Part of the beauty of me is that I'm very rich. I can tell you some of the candidates, they went in, they didn't know the air conditioner didn't work. They sweated like dogs. They didn't know the room was too big because they didn't have anybody there. How are they going to beat ISIS? But Mr. Trump, you're not a nice person. That's true, but actually I am. I think I am a nice person. Rosie O'Donnell's disgusting. I mean, both inside and out. You take a look at her, she's a slob. She talks like a truck driver. We're all a little chubby, but Rosie's just worse than most of us. But it's not the chubbiness. Rosie is a very unattractive person, both inside and out. If I were running the view, I'd fire Rosie. I mean, I'd look her right in that fat, ugly face of hers. I'd say, Rosie, you're fired. I mean, I'm actually a nice person. Free trade can be wonderful if you have smart people, but we have people that are stupid. If you really love this country, you have a very, very hard time convincing people that what you're doing is right and that you're really smart. And like a lot of us are really smart. I'm really smart. Went to the Wharton School of Finance. Even then, a long time ago, like the hardest or one of the hardest schools to get into.
I'm asking you now, do you accept that President Obama was born in the United States, is not Muslim?
I really don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why he wouldn't release his records.
A few years ago, you led the birther movement. You sent investigators out to Hawaii to find out whether or not Obama, which you said was not born here.
Well,
and it turned out to not be true.
Well,
so
I don't know. According to you, it's not true. I don't know.
He released his birth certificate.
You know, if you believe that, that's fine. I don't care.
Assume there'll be nude photos.
Right, you do assume that with Playboy.
Okay, but if there weren't, you wouldn't have an issue with it then. If they were using her to...
I don't think Ivanka would do that inside the magazine, although she does have a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
Stop it! Oh, it's so weird.
Nobody would be tougher on ISIS than Donald Trump. I would take away their wealth. I would take away the oil.
But wouldn't you be destroying the wealth of Iraq?
No, there is no Iraq. There is no Iraq in Iraq.
You don't think bombing Iraqi oil fields, which are now in the control of ISIS,
yeah.
but bombing Iraqi oil fields is going to anger huge numbers of people?
I would
throughout
bomb
Iraq?
the hell out of those oil fields. I wouldn't send many troops because you won't need them by the time I got finished. I'd bomb the hell out of the oil fields. I'd then get Exxon. I'd then get these great oil companies like China. I just sold an apartment for $15 million to somebody from China. I love the Saudis. Many are in this building. I would get along with Putin. I've dealt with Russia. When do we beat Mexico at the border? They're laughing at us. They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're Mexico doesn't want people. They're forcing them into our country. And we're taking them and we're putting them in our jails and our hospitals. And we're paying them money through different sources. It's a disgrace. I would build a great wall. And nobody builds walls better than me, believe me. And I'll build them very inexpensively. I will build a great wall on our southern border, and I will have Mexico pay for that wall. Mark my words. And they're not sending us their best and their finest. You heard my speech.
How are you going to get Mexico to pay for a wall?
You have people like we have.
You're
dopes.
calling
You
him an
can't.
enemy, aren't you?
George, Mexico does not like us. Mexico is not our friend. Mexico is the new China. Mexico will pay, you mark my words. I win, Mexico pays.
They love me, I love them. And I'll tell you something, if I get the nomination, I'll win the Latino vote. I will win it.
I also happen to call him a lightweight, okay, and I have said that, so I would like to take that back. He's really not that much of a lightweight. He hit my hands. Nobody has ever hit my hands. I've never heard of this one. Never heard of this one. Look at those hands. Are they small hands?
He's not a war hero.
He's a war hero.
He's a war hero.
5.5 years.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay? I hate to tell you. Of all walks of life rose up, and we used to have radio free, like I think radio. And the invasion of Normandy and the liberation of Europe. I want to also thank the Minneapolis police. As Jack has said about the Battle of the Bulge. You know, we just said another stock market. You saw that, right? The stock market on January 23rd. Venezuela's by Venezuela's. I hope they now go and take a look at the oranges of the investigation, the beginnings. And vicious MS3 gang members. You've really put a big investment in our country. We appreciate it very much, Tim Apple. More than 2,000 years ago, a brilliant star shone in the east. Wise men traveled far, far afield. And then they announced there was no buys.
What do you mean by that?